Reporting. Well, joining us now from Westminster is Ellen Clifford. She's a campaigner for disabled people against cuts. Ellen Clifford, the government says this is about streamlining and in some cases increasing funding.
Well, I think that's nonsense. We know that through this measure, some estimates suggest the government will be saving as much as $4.4 billion. That's $4.4 billion on the backs of disabled people who are already impoverished, already suffering. Disabled people are more than twice as likely as non-disabled people to live in poverty. The idea of personal independence payments was that it would cover the additional unavoidable expenditure that disabled people face as a result of living with our impairments. The government is quite unashamedly here cutting from disabled people in order to fund tax breaks for the rich.
Well, I mean, we highlighted a particular person who is losing her PIP, the personal allowance for independent living. How many people do you think will be actually affected by this?
So I think charities and disability organisations are estimating about 640,000 people. So, I mean, that's a lot. And this is on the back of the ESA RAG cut, which was voted through despite 2 rebellions in the Lords. So time and again, disabled people are seeing their meagre incomes being cut back.
So what do you think can actually be done about it?
Well, I think it's time for more Tories to start rebelling and starting to see the brutality of the measures and the welfare reforms that their government is pushing through. I know that some disability charities are disavowing their patrons at the moment, and I think that the government needs to stop and rethink what it's doing.
But you see that there are many people in politics who think that very possibly there is abuse in some of these payments, and that in actual fact there are people who possibly can live full lives without them, and that clearly is the target of this cut on one basis.
If you look at the actual DWP figures and statistics for disability benefit fraud, it's a tiny amount compared to what's actually being cut. I think it's not more than 0.5% is the rate for disability benefit fraud. And yet when Osborne came in 2010, in the June of 2010, he said that he was aiming at a 20% cut of DLA as it was then. So there's no correlation between what they're cutting and the levels of benefit fraud.
Ellen Clifford, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
Krishnan.